Introducing Safi Whip Natural Body Butter. Handmade with organic shea butter and other natural carrier oils. Available in original, lemon and baby powder flavors. Helps maintain moisture to skin while keeping it soft and hydrated. Handmade and whipped to perfection. A brand you can trust while supporting Black-owned businesses. We are taking orders. Please inbox us on Facebook and Instagram or check out our eBay shop Keeping It Real Cosmetics. See our feedback from previous customers. Thanks for your support. Please like, comment and share.
Good evening, my people. Manners and respect plus enough tax. What a day, what a day, what a day. I'm not going to lie, it's been an eventful afternoon still. I hope everybody's in good spirit. Definitely hope everyone's in good spirit. What a blessed Sunday, man. Big up Paula over in the Manchester region. Manners and respect, big up the full family. 5-0, big up yourself, my big brother. Jones, big up yourself. Joni, big up yourself. Manners and respect. Marcel, bear love to Marcel, big up yourself every time, check in. Maddox Angel Pie, check in. Manners and respect plus enough tax. Big up everyone over on the YouTube. Big up to everyone over on the Facebook. Also, today we got our special guest, Ben Ruben, my brother. He's been here before. We've chopped it up before. We've had some deep reasonings, and you can see that there's so much stuff happening right now that it's that time that we need to have that conversation again, that reasoning again. You get me? Up to date reasoning. Tendai, big up yourself, manners and respect, and good evening. Just to touch base on some of the stuff that I've been seeing. Social media's gone wild. It's nuts. The world's upside down. There's a lot to reason about. You get me? So I hope we can all interact today and reason about some of the stuff. Them definitely the reason why I labeled the topic, the caption, the topic, what I did, is because too many times I look on social media and I see a lot of people that they claim to be influencers of some sort. I'm not sure really, but I see a lot of people dying for some attention, like social media attention. People are killing up themselves for some social media attention, and what I realize is that it doesn't matter who gets hurt. It doesn't matter who they hurt. They care zero about that bit. All they care about is getting likes, like 100 likes or a few hundred likes, a few comments, and for their friends to share it around. Nobody cares and nobody looks at how much people they harm along the way when they're doing what they're doing. So, hence the reason why I say the same way that the journalists go about seeking their stories is the same way that some of us on social media are doing the same thing. But why? And what do you gain from that? Because you're only messing up people's lives, really. But who cares as long as you get a few likes, right? 100 likes and a few more comments and a few more subscribers, then everybody's up in it. You don't know the choppings already. I see the thing.
Get the endorphin rush.
You get me, bro?
That's what people are chasing. That
is exactly
they're reacting to it.
That's exactly where it is, my brother. And yeah, man, it's crazy in the world. What do you think of the world we're living in today, my bro?
The world we're living in today is it's pretty crazy, actually. Yeah, treacherous. It's treacherous.
Definitely.
It's a treacherous environment. Treacherous media environment. You talked about social media a lot there. Good evening, everyone, by the way. Nice to be here.
Pleasure.
Thank you for the invitation.
Always a pleasure.
It's good to be back.
Come on.
Lots to talk about. And no, you're right, it's treacherous. It's a treacherous environment, and social media, which is a relatively new thing, right? I think a lot of people forget that, right? Like we've not really had this paradigm of human interaction, like this sort of additional layer of technology running over the top of everything.
That's right.
And the algorithms that chase hype, like they want the things that are excitable and that get that provoke a reaction.
That's right.
In you. and you know, and that basically means that it not as much as it used to. Like, they put a lot of controls around it now, actually. So there's a lot of stuff that they can do to algorithmically suppress things as well, right?
That's
and
right.
they're doing that a lot. But certain things they definitely let cut through, and they're always the most like divisive things, basically. You know, like they're the ones that they get people in their
feelings.
emotional, in their feelings, and particularly in the fear. That's what really where they really go for with people, right? Like, because well, it makes us easier to control, actually. I mean, ultimately, that's what a lot of that is about, you know?
They drive the fear into you.
Yeah.
And then they throw a little carrot, dangle a little carrot of control. They know the minute you go for that carrot, it's control.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they do. Yeah, they do. What was it? It was a story about Stalin. And basically... I'm going to get it really wrong, but it's just come to me, so I'm going to tell it as best as I can. And basically, someone asked Stalin, and Stalin was like the leader of Russia, in the quite about 25 years, I think. I think it's from like the late 20s until like just after the Second World War, I think, something like that. Anyway, and anyway, he was like a notoriously like harsh dictator, and someone asked him like, how do you get people to like carry on doing what you want?
What do you want them to do?
When you've been so brutal to them? Yeah. And he basically like he picked up a chicken. So I guess they were outside somewhere. He picked up a chicken and just like started ripping feathers out of the chicken, and basically like plucked it alive, and then just chucked it on the floor, and it was all like disorientated and bleeding, and like didn't like you know, he just like brutalized this bird, and then he like starts throwing pieces of corn on the floor. And the chicken basically just turns around and starts going along and like pecking and eating the corn that he's put out for it. And then Stalin's like putting corn down and the chicken's just following him around. So he's basically just like almost killed it. But because he's given it a little bit of something to eat, it will just carry on following on.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like delay the inevitable. Or like, what's he going to do next? You don't know. But like, there's a little bit of a tease in there just to make you think that it's not all bad. And that's basically. I mean, that's a lot of what they were doing around lockdowns and all of that, right? Yeah. It's like, it's going to be super harsh, but we'll let you have a little bit less than what it could have possibly been, and that means that somehow you benefited from the awful stuff that we're doing to you.
That's right.
You know. That's what we're living under, basically. I mean, it's that kind of, you know, you can't necessarily point to like an individual, like a Stalin type individual who's like the sort of uber dictator of the country, because I don't think it's necessarily like Rishi Sunak's responsible for all the bad stuff, or even like Boris Johnson, who was there through a lot of the lockdown. I don't think it's them individually. I think it's the system that they're part of. Ultimately,
they ain't got a choice. I think they're just puppets of a bigger master.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they basically the way I think about it is it's like a franchise model, you know, like McDonald's and KFC. Like, you go anywhere in the world, it's the same, because they're not all owned and operated by McDonald's. They just license out the intellectual property, and then like, you know, if you're in Bangkok and you're an entrepreneurial person, you can take that on as a business opportunity, you know, and people earn a lot of money doing that, right? But it's similar. It's similar in government, right? So you've got these international bodies like the World Economic Forum, or the Council on Foreign Relations, or, you know, a bunch of these different think tank type organisations that are sort of behind the scenes on a lot of things. Yeah. They define the policies, and that's really important, particularly when you get into stuff like technologies, like when you get these shared platforms which have all got the same capability, and they all and capture and analyse data in the same way. That's a really important part of it. And they establish how they want to do that at a top level, and then that just gets disseminated out into all of the governments basically at the same time. Yeah. They use certain places. So like I've been doing a bit of broadcasting this week, actually, and one of the things I was talking about on Friday, I do UK column, have done for the past 2 weeks, UK column news. So big shout to UK column.
Big up UK column, man.
Yeah,
manners and respect.
Brian, Stephanie, Steve, Debbie, Josie, David, everyone there, like
full team.
Yeah, big. I've been blessed to be doing that for the past couple of weeks. And one of the things that we were talking about was, oh my God, I can completely lose the thread of what I was saying now. Oh yeah, the standardisation of data, and basically how that then gets disseminated down into the sort of the countries, but then also below that now you're starting to see, so like Sadiq Khan, for example, he's got a very prominent position in like the UN type system, like the global system, and basically they're talking about London, and then the UK more broadly is basically being like an exemplar, like a leading example of how all of the new global governance platforms are going to be implemented. Okay. So like a lot of the stuff that they're doing here, they're then going to roll out elsewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, my people, enough things we never know, that's why you have to rub shoulders with the like-minded brothers them and get information. Who does he rise above life? Big up yourself, manners and respect. So that story is a very powerful analogy. Big up yourself, man, manners and respect. Mr. Sheikh, big up yourself, my family, manners and enough respect, and big up everyone over on the Facebook. Luke, my bro, you know the choppings. Yeah. No jokes, bruv. Bruv, there's so much to get into today.
Global corporate, mate. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. There's a whole heap to touch on today. Isn't it, when it comes to these people? Noise pollution, big up yourself, my bro. God, Davina Paul, my sister, bear love, manners and respect. Welcome and good evening.
But the other thing you were talking about is so when you were just opening up there and you were talking about people sharing information online, but then what have you been seeing that it's then turned out that it's not been real or not been validated properly, or the way it's been described is incorrect? Like, what have you seen?
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
All the different flavours of it.
But not only just that, but you see, online accountability, sometimes we don't have that.
Yeah.
We do stuff without caring about that. Like, if we might get something wrong, we might get something right. We might even just do stuff not even thinking about the backlash or who it affects while we do it. So once it comes to your attention that it's affected somebody, there needs to be accountability. And then we need to backtrack whatever we done and correct that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if information it turns out to be false.
There you go. And then
but then also, like, what is appropriate online, right? Like, that's the other thing that's difficult with these social media platforms, is that everyone's in there, and like some things need to be said that maybe aren't for everyone, but there's not like a forum for that. Like, I don't know, maybe Twitter is these days. People are sort of self-selected off that because they see it as being like a bit more a bit more like what would you say, like dangerous,
safe,
maybe
safe place.
Well, it's yeah, I mean,
safe place for them to do what they want, create whatever they want
on Twitter,
any of the platforms.
Yeah,
look, Twitter, Spaces, all these, bro. People are doing the most. They get brave on these platform things.
Yeah.
Because I'm not right here to do something to you right now. I can't even do that to you.
Yeah.
So because I can't do that to you, you are as brave as can be.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill over there saying everything that you know is gonna just get my blood boiling. Knowing that I can't get to you, because the first thing I need to figure out is where's your location.
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose people are using it like that. I don't use it like that. I've only been on a couple of Spaces. I did see that there was some quite heated grime-related Spaces keep popping off over the past 12 months, and grime was always like that, though. There was always grime beef.
That never ever stopped.
No, exactly. There's no beef stopped. Like grime beef.
That ain't ever stopped, and up to this day that ain't stopped. So I don't know.
But I know what you mean. What was it? I can't remember who said this. Like, people have got used to shouting their mouth off and not getting punched in the face.
These things have been a regular occurrence, and everyone's become so engrossed in that we live like that now.
What, those sort of hypey moments? Like,
it's always that online, everyone's got the most mouth, and you will never see these people in real life. And some people, I don't know, man. The world is just a bit pick a mix. It's quite pick a mix at the moment when you say. Yeah, and it's deliberately confusing as well, right? Because it's actually, the way to understand
the current situation is basically like it's a war essentially, right? You've got these kind of narratives competing with each other on top of these digital communications platforms.
That's right.
And you know, they're sort of algorithmically driven and being promoted and suppressed, and it's all very sort of interconnected and organic, and all that technology is interfacing with humanity. Like, you know, there's so much at play there, and then there are a lot of bad actors involved in that as well, right? You know, like the idea that there aren't, well, basically every intelligence agency, every military operation, every government, all the big corporations, like they're all actively involved in manipulating the conversation, and some in more nefarious ways than others. But there are definitely, like, British Army units, for example, the 77th Brigade, whose job is to carry out psychological operations against the British people, and we know that. And there's like current serving 77th Brigade officers in the current government. Like they're hand in glove with each other, basically.
Oh, I just believe they're all different pockets of the same trousers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. You're right. That's exactly what they are.
All different pockets, same trousers. 5-0, big up yourself. Window Warriors family. Yeah, you know that. Big up yourself, Alan Wilson. Big up yourself, my bro. In the words of Lion Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan till they get smacked in the mouth. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, that is a quote.
That's facts.
That's life.
Can't go around that. That's facts. I don't know why, for some reason, my comment section is moving a bit booky, but we're gonna get there, though. We gonna get there, but funny that you should say that for real, because I wanted to touch on something. I'm sure, is it this one or that one? Let me figure it out real quick. I'll figure it out real quick. I wanted to play this thing here. Cause I think everyone should be aware of what's going on, whether it's within the media or if we're just finding information wherever we find the information. I think we need to be sharing the information. So this is something that was sent to me, to be fair, and I just think that I hope it's not true, basically, you get me? But if it is true, this is crazy, and we better keep our eyes open and be on our P's and Q's, because like I said it before on my Instagram, but I wasn't on my Facebook or YouTube. The day that I actually received the information, I said, this is crazy. There's a lot of people that has been drafted in with real genuine people that's got real issues why they need to be here. There's other people that are being drafted in at the same time as camouflaged as people that are in need, when in reality these are people that are trained militant fighters, yeah, that's being put on the ground to govern where we are, so that when it's time to strike. Who remembers when I used to say that Westfield has, all the Westfields in the UK have got 1,000 body bags in them waiting for a disaster, and we don't know what that disaster is. And bear this in mind, this is workers of Westfields that whistleblowed on that. So this is not someone that's speculating on something. This is stuff that we are aware of because our brothers and our sisters are keeping us in the loop. You get me? Sleeping army, Luke, you know the thing, innit? Because it's when they get that bird call, yeah, they move. They don't itch. So air walk one, innit? Tell me what you think of this. When they get that bird call, yeah, they move. They don't itch.
People of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, first of all I want to apologise because I feel I betrayed you. People of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, this is going to be very hard for me to do, but it needs to be told. I'm not going to tell you my name, you can just call me the whistleblower, because this needs to be told. I'm not going to tell you my name, you can just I own a small bread and breakfast / hotel on the outskirts between London and Bristol. Exactly where, I won't say. I was commandeered by the office of 10 Downing Street to rehome refugee families, which I agreed. When the first lot
Apologies,
people
peeps.
of England,
Apologies.
Ireland, Scotland and Wales, first of all I want to apologise because I feel I betrayed you. This is going to be very hard for me to do, but it needs to be told. I'm not going to tell you my name, you can just call me the whistleblower, because this needs to be told. I own a small bread and breakfast / hotel on the outskirts between London and Bristol. Exactly where, I won't say. I was commandeered by the office of 10 Downing Street to rehome refugee families, which I agreed. When the first lot of refugees came, there was not one woman, there was not one child. The people that turned up were men from the age of 19 to 30, I would say. I have enough room for about 250 residents. I currently house 150 immigrants. Yes, I did receive quite a large sum of money for doing so. On doing so, the government told me that I had to fire all my staff and they will supply their own, and also that they will supply security guards for the bread and breakfast. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I received a phone call to say that a large parcel will be arriving sometime this evening. After waiting a while, the parcel didn't come, so I retreated to go to bed. Around about 2:30 in the morning, I received another phone call to say that the parcel has arrived, and can I open up the rear servant entrance at the back of the B&B, which I went down and met some army personnel, which kind of surprised me very, very much. Then the person in charge, I don't know who he was, colonel or whatnot, asked me to show him to a secure room within the B&B, which I did. On doing so, they loaded in roughly between 60 and 70 really big crates. I asked what was in the crates. And I was told that I was not permitted to know. He then handed me a smaller parcel and told me that I will receive a phone call to give me further instructions on what to do and when to open this parcel, which was very strange. So I've had this parcel now for about a week in my office, and I started talking to a friend of mine, and he said, well, do you know what, you don't know what's inside those parcels, it could be anything. It's your property, whatever's inside your property, you own the rights to open, and I should have a look what it was. And I was debating about it for a little while, and I thought, you know what, you are kind of right. If it's in my property, I want to know what it is. So I opened the small parcel up, and inside was a letter with a list of names and numbers written next to the name. On realising that each name on the letter was one of the refugees. And then there was a smaller box inside the parcel. I opened that and there was a series of keys with numbers on. So I went down to the secure lock where these crates were and noticed that each crate had a number on it and each key had a number on it. So I took 2 keys for 2 of the crates and I opened up the crates. Crate 1. There was a load of AK-47 machine guns. Crate 2 were a number of hand grenades. Now, when I say this, I'm saying this as you could start a new war off with what I was looking at. There was enough ammunition inside one of the crates to easy wipe out my little village. Boom, gone, easy. Now I'm a bit stuck because I don't want these refugees here anymore, but I'm contracted to house them for a period of time. I don't know if I can give the government their money back and tell them to sweet off or not, I don't know. All I do know is in good faith, I cannot allow these men to have these crates. I am going to move them away from my property to a secure garage that I have not too far, because I'm not going to be responsible for allowing our government to kill us, the innocent people. Because it's obvious to me now that this is their plan.
You see what it is, yeah, peeps? I can't say that this is true or lie or speculations or I don't know. All I know is the information that has come to me, and yeah, we gotta be aware of shit. What I know, number one, is that the government, they move very sophisticated, exactly like that. They move exactly like that. So I wouldn't put nothing past our government, so to speak, because they've done a lot in the past. That shows me that I can't put anything past them in general. Any government, so to speak. You get me? Not just our own. Every government. How long have you heard me say this? And now is the time more than ever that people need to wake up to what I've been saying the whole time. Unity is needed from all of us. And the war isn't with my brothers. The war is against the government. The government's against us. And the minute that we all wake up to that real fact and that there's a real elephant in the room and we need to address that elephant rather than being addressing ourselves in each other, like catching up with each other every 5 minutes for what? I don't know. What?
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that. That is, well, I don't think it's certainly unverified, and it says on the image there that you know.
I hope it's not true.
Yeah, we hope it's not true. But the thing is that it actually kind of rings true. Like it's believable, I guess, is what I would say.
Definitely.
Having listened to it, the accent checked out, I think, for the area of the country, and sounded. She sounded sincere. It's difficult to say, but it's certainly true that there are a lot of young men coming into the country who may well not have best intentions. Do you know what I mean? We don't know, and that's the problem, ultimately.
Well, to be honest, I'm looking out for all of these little things because I know, look, with everything that's going on right now, is all a distraction for all of us. The minute we wake up, we'll be quicker and it'll be better off for all of us. Look, it's a big distraction. The war that's going on is a distraction.
Which one?
All of them. Everything that's going on right now.
Two big ones now.
Everything that's going on right now has been a distraction.
Yeah.
All of the governments have sat down around a table in a GM summit. They've had their meetings. They've spoken about what they're gonna, what their plans are for the next 5 years, next 10 years. They know what they're doing because just like barristers, CPS, CPS that work for the courts to get you convicted and get you in custody, the same way that the CPS and the barristers and the solicitors are all friends. They all sit down and have meals and lunch and laugh and joke and You understand? It's the same way that all of these governments that claim that they're in war with each other, they sit down and eat caviar and drink champagne and laugh and joke. We are the commodity that is on the ground that they call collateral damage, that they don't care about because we're just numbers to them, and bonds that they can sell off. And when they can't sell our bonds, our information, our data, then they just get rid of us.
And a lot of them think there's just too many of us.
Come on, bro.
Like far too many of us, actually. So I was looking at a website about the UN global goals, like the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. You know, they've got 17 of them. Yeah. That's right. So there's a site that's about the goals, and there's a woman on there. I can't remember her name, but basically I've seen her giving a talk at the World Economic Forum before. Yeah. She's like an old. Like a female David Attenborough type person, yeah. She's like a sort of like a old school British broadcaster. She's probably in her 80s now, even. Yeah, she's quite old. And I've seen her talking on the World Economic Forum, and basically saying we need to reduce the population of the planet to like 500 million. Well, and she's like fronting up the UN plan. You know what I'm saying?
They've been. This is the whole point.
Yeah.
They look. The biggest thing on the earth right now, what they've been trying to do is get rid of us. Now, most of us is out here getting rid of ourselves. So we're not seeing the bigger picture because we're killing off ourselves, not knowing that they're already targeting us and killing us left, right, and center. When I say our governments are starting wars in different countries and laughing at them and posting them on social, they're no different to the people that see something happen to somebody and go and post it on social media. Like, if people are dying in a country, it's not for our government and our media outlets to be taking up these horrible footages, posting it up on the media outlets, taking a side with the war, right? Listen, young men get stabbed and killed every day in our London streets. We don't ever see any of that kind of footage because they know that it's a red flag, right? But why is it okay for them to show that footage of someone else in some other country going through hardship, or bombs going off and someone's lost their leg or amputated? Some stuff's happened, but you're happy to show that. Why?
Well, because they're trying to get a reaction. I think a lot of it, like, basically, I've had to apply. I've been doing this for a while, but I've had to really think about it for the past 2 weeks because of what's going on in Israel and Palestine, right? Because the first 2 days of that, I was just looking at it going,
it's crazy.
Like, the way that this is just shaping out, and the way that, and then very quickly, so you have to apply like a 24 to 48 hour rule.
That's right.
I'm just going to watch what happens with this before reacting to it, and just step back and look at everything else that's going on before diving in on this bit of information, because it doesn't look right to me. And there was actually, this is the thing, like, the national governments are some of the worst. So it was actually, I think it might have been the official Israel Twitter account, or X, whatever he's called it now. And they were talking about this story of like beheading babies, and like 40 babies or something like that. And it was like, this has happened. Ben Shapiro shared it. Like, a whole bunch of very high profile people were pushing this thing. And then within 24 hours, pretty much, it was like, we haven't got any evidence to support what you're saying. And they had to backtrack on it. It's like, why are you behaving like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense, because like that, to me, that's just like a blunder on their part, because it's so easy to disprove what they're saying so quickly because of the internet now, right? Like, we can just get in and around things, and like information that they can't control it.
You can't slow down what's happening right now. None of them can. They wish they could, but they can't. But
yeah.
You see, this is why. You see, supporting any side of any war is not what I'm here to do. I'm here to bring peace to my people and bring unity to my people, because how can I say that I stand with a group of people that can celebrate harming babies and children? I wasn't even going to play this, but I think it's only right to play this to show why I won't even be a part of any of it. And actually, I'm not even going to play it. Because in our minds, we can imagine what it's like to see atrocities happen and people on the other side gyrating about it like they've done something great. And our government is standing beside that, like, and they want us to wave flags of all of that. And we're humanitarians. That means we care for humans. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah, it's on all sides of it. Actually, I mean, people celebrating the deaths of the children of their enemies. It's like, oh wow, okay, that escalated quickly, and people shouting for peace, the ones getting shouted down. Which was the same with the last war as well. I mean, it's always the same with wars, right? They manufacture the outcome that they want, and they use the media
as they do
to do it for them. And like the behavioural insights team and the nudge unit and the people in number 10 Downing Street, whose job it is to direct your thinking.
No, do you know what? I think, Ben, I do have to play this clip, because my Godcast has no censor when it comes to talking the truth and shaming the devil, right? We have to stand up for human rights, and I think everyone has a right to live, and I feel like the government have sold out. I feel like on both sides of this war, the governments have sold out the people, and they've taken backhanders from other governments, outside influence, and the reason why they've taken the money from the outside influencers is because the deal is to get rid of the people, to depopulate your own place. You see where it's gone from oil to steel to copper to now get rid of your people. And the government don't mind getting rid of numbers if there's numbers on the table.
Yeah, they've been quite explicit about it, right? This is the thing that's so fascinating, is that all the plans have basically been published, and we've seen it up close, and people still don't want to engage with it.
Sad one.
It's kind of an amazing and awful time to have lived through and be living through, because you're just seeing it roll out in front of you, and so there's we can do a lot, but also in many ways there's so much we can't do and can't intervene with, and it's just already kind of locked in, and it's like, wow, this is real bad,
But you see, again, going back to the last voice note that was played, right? That kind of coincides with what I believe is on its way anyway, because the governments are really pushing for civil war in this country.
Yeah.
And the civil unrest already from the backlash of what's just happened in Palestine, that shows where this is going, bro.
Yeah, it shows that the country's tuned up quite a fever pitch. And I mean, obviously, like, what's going on over there is appalling. And I'm personally, and I'm sure Patrick is exactly the same, just want the violence to end.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, like,
these people don't deserve that.
No, yeah, exactly.
I don't think no one deserved it. Remember, they can't defend themselves. Look how big. Remember, Israel is the 10th biggest, has the 10th biggest army in the world, bro.
Is it that big?
Bro, they've got the 10th biggest army in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Gaza's what? Gaza is a strip.
Yeah, it's like an open air prison, basically. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's actually one of the things that I try not to comment on too much on Israel and that situation, because I actually think it's impossible to really know what's going on the ground there at all. Like, there's so much wrapped into it and so many layers of disinformation that it's really difficult to talk about it.
I've seen some fake videos being made.
Yeah, I've seen some
fake videos being made.
Yeah, right.
Of them telling the stunt people. Actually, I've even seen videos being made of the newspaper, the news reporters.
Yeah.
Where they're telling them to get down, and make it look like, and the woman's face is on the ground, and they're saying, yeah, more to the right.
Yeah. I'm
saying, hold on, is this what? This is How they call it now?
Yeah, that's. I mean, so there's. Well, it's propaganda, isn't it? Like that's basically what it is. That they're manufacturing a crisis, and it doesn't even need to be a crisis. It needs to look like a crisis. Basically, like 2020 and all that. Don't want to flag up your algorithms and get us turned off the air. But when I say 2020 and all that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like a lot of that, the footage that was coming out of hospitals and all that kind of things, like that was all made up, man. Like, they even had literally, you can go on the BBC and people will pull a video off the BBC and it'll be like, no, that's that crisis actor, and they have like agencies for crisis actors, and it's like a paid thing that people do to go and create footage to make it look like something's happening so that they can help the government do X, Y, and Z.
I didn't believe even like in the big C times, there was so much people supposedly dropping at rapid numbers, but I'm not sure if everyone was acknowledging, like myself at the time, that I wasn't seeing the same numbers or same volume of funerals to match the numbers of what they were saying were dropping, right?
Well, there was no increase in death rate in 2020, but there was one, and it continues to be one in 2021, 2022, 2023. Death rate at the minute is between 10 and 20%. It fluctuates quite a lot, but it's definitely over on the 5-year average. 10 and 20% above normal.
Wow. Yeah,
which is a lot of people, and also the birth rate's gone down as well. So basically, the birth rate's gone down by about 15%. So basically, it's a demographic time bomb. Basically, there's a lot more people dying and a lot fewer people being born. So like, at some point, we're going to have to start making a load of babies, peeps, to keep civilization going. Basically, right. Otherwise we'll all be. Yeah, well, yeah. What they're talking about now is like. Netanyahu was talking about this at the UN a couple of weeks ago. It's one of the things I was talking about on UK Column on Friday. Is basically, Benjamin Netanyahu's vision for the future, which is the same as all the other World Economic Forum type. It's the same thing Tony Blair's been talking about. It's the same thing Keir Starmer wants to do. It's the same, and Sunak, by the way. They all play for the same team essentially. But it's all about artificial intelligence and robotics and automation and genetic engineering and this sort of sci-fi stuff. Well, they think it's science, they talk about it as if this is like an inevitable future. And in that world, it would be like, we'll have robots taking care of elderly people, and that's what's going to fix the demographic crisis. It's like, well, I don't want to be taken care of by a robot. Why should we expect kids to be tutored by a computer terminal? Like, can we not live in a world where education is, it's delivered person to person, and it's like personal and
They don't see it that way, bro.
Huh?
They don't see it that way.
No, of course they don't see it that way. No, for a whole bunch of reasons. Yeah, and a lot of it is to do with control. Like, they basically want to have centralised control over the thought patterns of all humanity. That's basically what they've already built. I'm not even going to say they're building it. Like, they've already got artificial intelligence systems for education, which are being used by hundreds of thousands, maybe like low figure millions of people in the private sector, private schools, and they want to roll that out to state education as well. And that basically means you've got like a state sanctioned algorithm deciding what your kids can think.
All of that.
Right, that's like total nightmare scenario, right? You can't think of anything worse.
Hold on, let me see what Dean just said something. Dean said in World War II, Churchill said to the British people, "We will get through this." The British people replied, "You will get through this. Our houses got bombed. What about your house, Mr. Churchill?" Oh, that's the truth. From them time there till now, as long as your house is blue, you'll be all right. Crazy.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's a whole... God, so much of... See, this is the thing, right? You think fake news is bad. Imagine what fake history is like.
Wow, bro, don't even...
You know what I mean? Like, it's difficult to work out...
Let's not get me started, because, you see, the publishers the handlers, the people that are the registerers of such authors' books. You know what I mean? The things that are patterned. Who is the person that's patterning? Who is the person that's watching the guy that's patterning to know that he's not stealing something as well? There's no, look, the watchman's there to watch, but there's no one watching the watchman, bro. Apart from the Most High, bro.
The Most High.
Yeah, that's the Most High. But I'm talking about like on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground level, yeah.
Within the system.
We got it. Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, you need systems to self-correct and self-police and control and sustain. Crazy. Basically. Yeah, because things can get infiltrated real easily, and that's basically what's happened now. Like, it's infiltration. We kind of been invaded, but not invaded. We've been infiltrated.
Trust me, Nicky. Know the pattern. Can't go around us. Order out of chaos. Big up yourself, divine. So true.
Yeah, ordo ob chaos. That's exactly it. That is exactly right.
Watchman say you can't watch, man. You see what I was saying, Dean? You know, small-minded people, but you see, because I don't live for the wise and all them little small-minded thing there. I laugh with it still, but sometimes we just get serious and deal with the serious side of life, brethren, because we're grown. Sometimes we can't be childish, you get me? They like to, what was this? Because you see my fair, they feed, yeah, of course that's what they feed off. You know, I've got a heart thing that just is in the way of what you're saying as well, you know. Okay, fair energy, that is what they feed off, that's right. Big up yourself, divine. Bear love, you know the style already. I said I wanted to play this quickly, 1 minute. I'm gonna play it because I don't support this. I think this is horrid. That we got human beings that believe that this is okay. This is not okay by me. Let me just say. Hold up. I maybe don't even want to show that bit there. Let me just run it from there, so. You see what I'm saying, peeps? That stuff to me is horrible. I don't ever want to see that ever again in life. You can't joyrate about children, you know, going through that. War. Children should never get mixed up in war. Women and children should not get mixed up in war. I'm a firm believer of that. I don't know where this comes from. I don't care what groups, don't care where anyone comes from. That is not tolerated at all. At all, my people. So that's what we're on. Where are we going now? So there's a don't want to go down that road there. Want to go down that road there, Patrick? I can't go down that road there. Come on, show that part at all. These people think they're smart. We need to stay on top of all of the informations that's out there. Know what time it is. I'm going to run this one for you lot, my peeps. 1 second. Check this out and tell me what you think.
The Iron Dome, developed by Israel. Anti-aircraft missiles have been in the spotlight these days. The success rate of intercepting a missile is 90%, while Hamas fires 5,000 rockets in a 20-minute frenzy. Can the Iron Dome truly defend against such a relentless attack? An Iron Dome anti-air system consists of 3 key components. This is the Combat Command Center. There's also the Missile Launch Unit. The most critical part is this detection and tracking radar. The Missile Launch Unit can hold up to 20 missiles. Deploying it near a city is like putting a protective shield over the city. The Combat Command Center is responsible for intercepting incoming orders. Attacks are only initiated when rockets enter a designated range. This small interceptor missile, surprisingly, can cover a range of 70 kilometers, even though it's only 2.8 meters tall and weighs only 90 kilograms. Now, pay close attention. Here's the key point. When multiple enemy missiles are fired at the target city, the Iron Dome defense system activates. First, the radar can detect threats within a 100-kilometer radius. Then it transmits the data to the Combat Command System, which sends instructions to the missile launch unit and tracks the trajectory of enemy missiles. Data is transmitted from the radar to the Combat Command Center. Once a target is detected within the protected area, interceptor missiles are rapidly launched and locked onto the target. When they get close enough, the front warhead detonates. Inside, it contains shrapnel that detonates enemy bombs. It's important to note that a single Hamas rocket costs only $80, while intercepting it with an Iron Dome missile costs $50,000. That's a significant difference in interception costs.
See what I'm saying, peeps? Bare little tricks they're pulling behind our back, like we don't know what go on. So they got all these little defense things. What for? What's all of that for? What you need that for?
The Iron Dome.
Yeah, what them need that for?
Because the Palestinians are firing a lot of rockets at them.
You say you missed that video?
Huh?
No, Tandy said she missed the video, so you might have to watch it back. You know, I can play it back a little more still.
It's a missile defense system, basically.
So I said I weren't gonna play.
Yeah, so they shoot them out the sky.
Horrible.
It's quite impressive, but then I've got a picture on here, which somewhere, which is basically showing that actually both the missiles and the Iron Shield are paid for.
Bring it up on the bigger screen. No, just double click it. Double click. Go into the green.
Yeah, put it up. Yeah.
Let's put it up.
Okay, yeah, I'm already plugged in over there. Okay. Oh, look at this go, man.
Yeah.
Killing it tonight.
No,
So yeah, that's basically what it is. So you got the rockets on the right, coming from Hamas.
Yeah.
And then that's what the Iron Dome looks like on the left. Like, it's not actually like a sort of dome up in the sky, like the firmament. It's like I don't know the exact technology, but they use something to shoot the rockets out of the sky, and that's how they protect themselves. But they're both paid for by the US taxpayer, right? So then the people making all the money on this are the arms companies, the banks funding it, and the politicians who get paid by lobbyists in places like Washington DC, and to a slightly lesser extent in London. And it's a racket, as they say. War is a racket.
It's not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. I couldn't imagine living in that.
No, sir.
It would just sit in you day to day. Whatever side of it you're on, you're just surrounded by the threat of violence. I think it would be awful.
I don't think no one would want to live in that.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would like to live in that state of waking up to that, knowing that so many people have your whole village has gone missing, and you don't want to wake up to them things. I think we have been fortunate in the UK to not have these atrocities happen to us in our lifetime. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, really. Like, we've been very lucky for a few hundred years now, actually. Like, we've not had a land invasion in this country. I'm not a military historian, so I won't be able to tell you the exact date, but I'm going to say at least 200 years plus, I think. We have been very lucky in that regard, and I think people take it for granted, actually. Like, particularly like given what we were talking about at the start of this of the show, like the increasingly confusing and fractious media environment, coupled with some quite destabilising incursions happening, or potentially much more destabilising incursions happening with a lot of basically illegal mass immigration. There
you go.
It's really weird watching it, the discussion about it actually in the media, and the way the politicians talk about it, particularly on the left, because like the sort of left-wing people, a lot of them, their view is, oh, well, we got to help them out, and we got to be nice people and bring these people in, but they never really, I don't think they think through, like, well, where are we going to put them, and And who exactly are they? Like, let's get real specific. Yeah, like you can't just sort of generically wave through
a bag of people.
Anyone.
We don't know who's murderers. We don't know who's rapists. We don't know who does anything. We don't know who does.
No, exactly. Yeah, and you got you know, a lot of them coming from countries that are
war torn.
Well, yeah, exactly.
War
if you
torn countries.
Coming from places like Afghanistan, for example, then it's very different culturally. You know, to put it mildly, and also have been in conflict for decades.
But again,
you know,
who started half of this conflict? What's going on out there?
Well, yeah.
Because when it goes back to that, I sat down and I had to watch something the other day to get some context into where this is all stemming from and why has it got to where we're at today, right? And I was astonished to see some of the findings, my friend. To be fair, I didn't know that the British had such a hand in what was going on. Do you see what I'm saying?
In which bit? I mean, we've had a hand in a lot of stuff. Or let me be more specific. Like the state has had a hand in a lot of stuff. The state being very distinct from the British people, because I don't think the British people want or actually benefit either in really any way from most of what the state's been doing for centuries now, right? Like the idea that
actually, I'm glad that you actually put it like that as well, because it's important to land the plane and allow people to really understand what it is that's being said, rather than be any cross wires or anything like that.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's always the government that's setting these things. It's always the state setting it. It's not the people. The people don't stand by half of the stuff that's being thrown out there. There's a handful, yes, there will always be a handful that wholeheartedly runs with whatever the government says. But the people on the ground really feel and know something's wrong. They really feel and know that they don't get heard. They really feel and know that nothing can get any better.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And slowly and surely, I think that they're beginning to understand that that's actually deliberate. So we're in a sort of state of managed decline. Like everything's just getting worse and worse and worse. And like I feel like it's part of like demoralising us. You know, like everything was better before.
Claire just said that poor man who was so glad his 8-year-old daughter was killed and not taken hostage. That's so messed up.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't even hear that. That is crazy even to fathom for a second, to be fair.
It's not the kind of thought pattern that you want to ever have to go through.
No.
Like, yeah, you know. Hopefully we don't get to that stage in this country, but who knows?
People are running out of water. Yeah, you're right, Emily. You're not wrong. We can't make no one starve. No one can't die of thirst.
You mean in Palestine at the minute?
They've blocked off water, food, aid, everything. They're just like, and they're saying, well, if you want to go and help them, then you go and help them.
Yeah,
but we don't care about them. What?
Yeah, it's kind of nuts actually, because the like that's a war crime. Like you can't deliberately target civilians. Like this is deliberately punitive of civilians. Now, what they say back to that is, well, Hamas surrounds themselves with civilians. So what are we supposed to do? And again, like we don't know enough about this. I personally don't know enough about the situation on the ground to come down emphatically on either side of whether that statement is true or not. But I do know that what they're doing is technically a war crime. And also the people like Ursula von der Leyen, you know, the president of the EU, and people like that were, she's one example I've seen, basically condemning that behaviour when it was thought the Russians were going to do it to Ukraine, and then coming out and saying you can't do this, it's a war crime. This is like in the last 18 months, obviously since the Ukraine war started. But when Israel say they're going to do it, she's there supporting it. So hang on, like this don't make any sense.
You have to.
It's
pick
all right
sense out
when
of
the people
nonsense.
on your side. So when your side want to do it, then it's fine. But when the other side does it, it's a war crime. Like, you've got to apply some consistency here. Like, I mean, this is we're literally talking about war crimes. Like, we can't be like fast and loose with the definitions. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's inconvenient to you at this moment in time to actually stick to your supposed principles, you know, Miss von der Leyen, or any of you politicians on that side of the fence, basically. You know, they've all been doing it.
That picture for us for a minute.
Yeah, you want to see this one? Yeah.
Put that on a green one for us. Yeah.
Full screen. Look at
My
it.
brother, look at that one there. Bruv. That was needed.
Yeah, there you go. Central banks fund all sides of every war. They never lose. Yeah, they don't, like, because they basically it's a bit like if you were the casino and they're the casino and we're all the gamblers in the casino. Like, ultimately they always win, so they just got to keep the lights on and keep the players coming through the door, and they'll just cream it. That's basically what central banking is. That's what the City of London is. It's a big casino. Lots of very dirty money in the City of London. You know, and really those are the people that have benefited. Like, even if you go like way back, if you look at, so people talk about the Opium Wars, which was in the early 1800s, which was when the British Empire really kicked into gear, actually. Like, up until about 250 years ago, we were a sort of moderately successful European sovereign nation, like monarchy. And but not significantly more so than any other. Yeah. But then basically the East India Company and the British sovereign tied up a deal in to basically sell opium to the Chinese and to set up a drug trade. And it was on the back of that the British Empire really kicked into gear and became like quite so big and significant as it was, and the people that really benefited from that were the East India Company. It was the corporations and the you know, that stuff, like those families, those bank accounts, that lineage. A lot of that really ancient stuff still sits right at the heart of the city. That's what it is. It's just like, you know, those people doing that. Fast forward 250 years, boom, there you are. You know,
crazy.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's where it all comes from. Not all of it, but a lot of the city money comes from those sort of ancient.
Malik says the Scottish First Minister has a lot to say also, which Downing Street are not impressed with. Yeah.
He's very gobby, that man.
That's right.
I don't like him.
We're in times of good over evil, good versus evil. That's right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
That is definitely true, yeah.
Puppet Masters, you're not wrong, Divine. Big up yourself. Zadie, big up yourself on a check-in. We have to get back to our thing because I had to call up a mother of a child that got killed the other day to give my condolences, and it was nice.
Sorry to hear that.
It wasn't nice. That's the last thing anyone wants to do, man. That's heartbreaking, bruv.
Yeah.
To have to give, like, nah, man. It was heartbreaking, Bridge, and yeah, I don't think half of these young youths them understand what it's like when you have to go and say your condolences to a mother that you can clearly see this event has tore her world apart. There's no way to comfort her. You know, like when you're looking at somebody, there's no current words that is relevant, that is of any substance that you could say to that person at that time when they've lost their child. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, big up yourself, Dean. Talking on trade, do you or Ben know anything about BRICS?
Yeah. What, Brazil, Russia, India, China, the BRICS nations.
Okay, I was lost just then. I weren't gonna front. Wait, hold on. Jones. I weren't gonna front. I was just lost. straight away.
Yeah.
So what's that about? Let's get into some of that.
The BRICS. So basically, this was coined. The term was a guy. I'm going to get his name wrong, but I think it's Jim McDonnell.
Big up yourself, Andy Chin, my big brother. Man has enough respect. You know the style already.
And he was a very senior guy at Goldman Sachs. Jim O'Neill. That's it. Jim O'Neill.
Jim O'Neill.
Who was the? I'm pretty sure he was European chairman of Goldman Sachs. And then basically here he is, Lord O'Neill of Gatley. I think that's in Yorkshire. So he's a bit of a fella, and he basically coined the term. It's an acronym, so it's BRIC. Stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. The 4 once rapidly developing countries that were thought to challenge the global economic power of the developed G7 economies. So he was he was chairman of Goldman Sachs Asset Management, and he was also part of the Tory government at some point as well.
Crazy.
And basically, they just did a whole bunch of geopolitical, macroeconomic projections about, and a lot of it ultimately is to do with like demographics, you know. So like where the sort of the powerful growth comes from younger nations, you know, and for a whole bunch of reasons. Some of these other nations have got different demographics to us, like Brazil, India in particular.
Question: do you think it's a threat on the US dollar?
I think the dollar's not worth the paper it's printed on. Basically, like they've printed so much of that money that it's basically that's why there's so much inflation, and we're going to see it here as well. You know, we've seen quite a lot of inflation, but I think it's going to get worse, and they're doing a whole bunch of things to like make it worse. Mainly printing loads of it and giving it away to people, which just devalues it basically, and shutting the economic system down as well. That was a big thing, you know, that never happened before in the whole of history, and they did it everywhere, right? Did it in the US as well, and then they printed. I think I read somewhere that something like, I'm sure it's something like 50%, or maybe even more than that, of all of the dollars that have ever been printed have been printed in like the last 3 or 4 years. Like it's just like ridiculous.
And Andy said the dollar is a debt note.
Yes, yeah, it's a promissory note. Like you don't. No, so it's not a promissory note. What do they call it? It is a central bank liability. Like you borrow it from them. Like you don't really own it. You borrow it in order to participate in their system.
Meaning that you have to share it around.
Yeah,
you can't keep it. You can't just have it to yourself.
Well, yeah, and also, particularly if you think about the way that they deal with notes in this country, like you can't have cash for more than like 3 or 4 years because they change the notes the whole time. So it doesn't actually just serve the basic function of being a store of value for a long period of time.
Not like one time gone. Not after the big train robbery and all these things, mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Ronnie
days.
Biggs with
yeah. Yeah. It will send you. Hold on, I will send you some bits, Patrick. All right, say now, my sister, bear love and all. Money is almost obsolete. Assets are a winner, like gold, etc. Trust me. And
yeah, I had a long conversation with someone who actually works in the city about money, and he doesn't think that you even need money at all.
Yeah,
you need products and services, and that's it. Like
and skill.
And skill, yeah, skill is really important because that's where all that's where the value comes from.
The skill, bro. Trust me.
Coherent action. Skilled coherent action, and the more skilled and the more coherent it is, the more value you create.
And that's what you got to be doing.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Putting in the work.
Big up yourself, Realist J, on the check-in. It's an IOU. All notes say, I promise to pay the bearer. Yeah. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I don't know if they do anymore, because that's what it used to be.
That's right.
Because it used to be, because the whole point of it at the start was it was basically, this is worth a load of gold, but I don't want to carry a load of gold around with me.
True.
So basically, I've got a mate around the corner in the city, and they keep my gold in their vault, and then they give me this bit of paper which says, "Don't worry, the gold exists, and if you come to this location, we will give it to you." And then basically everyone just got used to using the notes, and then they just took the gold away, and then it's still kind of running. You know, like do you remember Roadrunner? You know,
Yeah,
you remember that
yeah,
cartoon?
yeah.
Like beep beep,
Meep.
and he'd run off, and the Wile E. Coyote would run off the edge of the cliff, and his legs would still be spinning round,
Yeah.
but it'd be up in the air, but like
Not going nowhere.
there'd be no ground beneath him. That's basically what I think the banking system is at the minute. It's basically like they've run off the edge of the cliff. The legs are still
up in
going
the
really
air,
quickly. He
just doing
thinks
the
he's
madness.
moving, but actually he's about to drop like straight
Madness.
down to earth. But that's one of their main control systems is the money, right? And people don't think of it like it's basically a technology platform that we use, and you know it's you get so used to it, like anything, particularly when you're sort of born into it, it just works, and you just assume that that's how it's supposed to be. But like the way that it behaves, and particularly the mechanics of what the Bank of England is doing, can do, like how the whole thing's governed, and you know that's just again like a franchise of the Bank of International Settlements. That's the central bank of central banks. And then the Bank of England will be our one, and then the Federal Reserve in the US will be their one, and basically every country, I think, pretty much on Earth is on a central bank system, right? And
Facts.
yeah, and you just
Big facts.
yeah, man, and also they're in the UK, and same in Washington as well. I don't know exactly where the Fed is based. I'm pretty sure it would be in Washington DC, but the Washington DC, the City of London, and also Vatican City, like they are separate city states.
Fire for them.
Yeah, that are separate. So the Bank of England's actually not in England. It's in the City of London, which is a separate state within England.
That's true.
And I actually think that we've been colonised by the City of London. That's quite a useful way to think about like how our system is set up. We've been colonised by the city, and if you look at where all the and that's happened over centuries, right? But the British royals have to ask permission to go there. Like they're not allowed to go there. And obviously, it's all very ornate and you know, ritualistic.
Okay, so hold on. Big brother Andy asked a question. He said, in Africa, one currency was a true potential in the making with recently Gaddafi. Is BRICS attempting to create their own currency as well?
Yeah, so so Gaddafi was
Good question, bro.
It's a real good question, yeah. And Gaddafi, it's why they killed him basically. It's because he I think that was Obama who did that. Basically, he was threatening to set up I think he had like 8 countries in North Africa, and basically there was going to be a gold-backed currency. It's like, we don't want your central bank currency, we'll have our own currency, thank you. And then they invaded, and he was, you know, dragged through the streets and all the kind of things that happen when you look like you're going to cross the central banks with the US Army.
Crazy.
And so they were, and I don't know if BRICS are looking to do their own single currency. They might do, but then last year Putin did introduce a gold-backed ruble, which was a real spanner in the works for the central bank digital currency. People that they were trying to push that, and they still are trying to push that as something that they want to be able to.
What's that about, though?
Central bank digital currency. So basically, it's
No, we know about central bank digital currency, but
yeah.
What was that you just said?
The gold-backed ruble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's
it's a ruble being the Russian currency, but it behaves in the way that money used to. I.e., you could take your gold-backed ruble and go and get some gold for it, and they'd actually honour it.
Okay.
Yeah, and they basically spent a load of money getting the gold to back that. So that's at a time when CBDC is like the ultimate. It's the worst possible platform that you could
Find yourself on.
unless you're a tyrannical dictator, politician type. Then you'd love it because you can just use it to manipulate and control people, and it's ridiculous, really. It's like it's all geared to make the people who run the system more powerful. That's the only reason that the CBDC exists. You can't explain it in any other way. Like there's no benefit to it at all for us.
It's basically not sitting in limbo. What was I say? Just stagnant. You're just stagnant with it. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and they can you know, like all sorts of crazy things. Like it's a bit more like if money was, you know, when you go to when you go to Disneyland and you get Disney dollars.
Never been
And
listening.
well, I haven't either, but I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, like
fire for that.
yeah, right. No, man, I'm with you. But you understand the principle, right? Like it's fun money.
That's right.
And the next time you go, it probably won't work because it'll have an expiration date on it. Like you have to use it that season or something. It's like drinks tokens, maybe even.
Right.
Like when you're in a club, it's like, well, you can come back next week, but we're not going to take them ones.
Or festivals.
They look different this time.
It's like festivals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and but that's basically what the money. And they're trying to tell you that that's money. It's like that's not money. That's like a child's version of it that we use for a very basic function. But I'm not going to lay down. Imagine if all of the drinks tokens that you didn't ever drink, that you could put them down and that would have like a residual long-term value. Like no, it's ridiculous to say that. You know what I mean?
I got bare of them.
Yeah, all those wristbands from all those festivals. Actually, they're you can exchange them for gold.
And the wristbands have still got money on it.
Yeah, right.
They got the little barcodes on them now where you got to put your money on, spend your money, get the money converted onto your barcode.
Yeah.
Then anything in the festival you want to buy, you tap.
Yeah, and then whatever you don't spend at the end, they keep. Them ones.
It coming like they refund your thing back to their system.
Yeah.
Because you can't spend it nowhere else, and there ain't another event until whenever they decide.
Yeah.
It's really a setup.
Yeah, there you go, exactly, and that's so
monopoly.
And they can just turn you off and on whenever they want, and it's just the worst of all worlds, and that's what they're pushing for, right? And Rishi Sunak's father-in-law, he founded, or what was one of the founders of a massive Indian technology company called Infosys, and Infosys built the social credit system and digital currency system for India. It's the biggest deployed system on earth. He built it. Yeah. Right, exactly. And so obviously that's what and he introduced Bitcoins, what they called it at the time when he was Chancellor. So it's basically he's been leading out the conversation on CBDC for 3-4 years now. And obviously really circumspect about the fact that a lot of his family wealth is tied up in the implementation of these systems, and they are basically slave systems. They're purely designed to allow the people running the system, running those platforms, maximum control and ability to manipulate the people that are the users of the system, without any real upside to them at all. And that's what they're pushing. And
that's crazy,
isn't it? And that's just in banking, because they're doing broadly similar stuff everywhere else as well, right? It's not just in finance; it's everywhere in the system, because it all integrates ultimately into one thing.
Going back to bartering for services and goods.
Yeah.
Like trading various spendings. You're right, big bro. You're right, man. It's all about trade. Big up yourself, Jones. You're on to the money.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because you don't actually want the money necessarily. You want the thing that you'd be able to get with it.
At all times.
Yeah, exactly.
At all times.
Yeah, you want a liquid market where you can access the stuff that you want, and the money's almost secondary. Unless you do want to be able to store value somehow.
Big up yourself, Luke. Manners and respect, brother. Nah, man. Honest, man. You see, like how. It's Black History Month as well.
Yes.
Because we can't forget that it's Black History Month,
Just the 1 month.
Just the 1 month, my brother Ben. You know the thing. We reason about this all the time. Big up my brother, He's not a joker. He's a serious man. Big up Ruben, man. What do you think about Black History Month, my bro?
What do I think about it?
What's your take on Black History Month?
Well,
you think it's a slap in the face or what?
I think it's a very complicated one, basically. So, first of all, I feel like this word black gets used all the time. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's so vague that it actually doesn't really mean anything. Because, I was on the tube on the way over to meet you earlier. Mm-hmm. And there were these 3 fellows who got on, and they clearly, I think they were West African, and they were chatting away to each other a language. I didn't understand the language at all, and they'd got a certain way about them. They're definitely African, man, and they are just arrived, right? They literally, like, they're very clearly, like, not been in the country a long time at all, and they got a way about them and a way of presenting and being about themselves. And I was looking at them and thinking, okay, you guys, you're having a nice little Sunday, cool. And I was looking at them thinking, your day-to-day, like your mannerism, your language, your mentality, like everything is so remarkably different to, for example, like a second or even like a third generation Jamaican immigrant who's born here, maybe their parents were born here, you know, like the idea that you can just lump all of those people together into one thing. It's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense, and that's just one example in on my way down here on the tube. But it's like when you dig into it, it's like, no, that's everything. You've got an entire continent which could, I suppose, be categorised as black. You know, the African continent, but which is huge, geographically huge, and you know, even just on a random Tuesday is extraordinarily diverse. But then you're going to throw history in as well. Yeah, so it's not just what's happening now; it's what's happened at any point in the past. It's like you can't just sum it all up into one thing
and cram it into a tin of sardines.
Yeah, and then it's like, and it's a month, but in reality, it's like, okay, well, that's not going to work, is it? Because it's not least because history is ongoing as well, right? So like,
all right, cool. So it's not like everybody else has got a history month.
Well, no, that's the other thing.
It's just one race that's got a history month, and it's not like there's new bits of the history that we're learning about that we didn't know about. They were regurgitating the same old stories that they taught generations. Come on.
Yeah, and a lot of it is. A lot of the content is very politically charged, and it's like, oh, no, we want you to think this, and we want you to think in a certain way, and to be vexed, actually. Like, a lot of it is about creating vexatious feelings in people and telling them that they've been subjugated and that's all that they've ever known and all that kind of thing. It's like, it's not universally true, man. It isn't, and it's kind of insulting, really. Actually, like the whole thing gets turned into like a political football, and I don't know, man. Like I find it quite odd, and also it's a bit like, you know, the police term, isn't it? IC3.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. That's when I hear the word black. That's generally what I think of. It's like it's like a racist categorization from the system.
Because you know what? When I think about it, we probably didn't even know what black meant until we was told what black meant. Because we had no reason to look at each other and say, oh, you're black, or we knew that we were black. What's the label of black? We was just living. What the hell?
Yeah, and also, you know, like, what people say white, it's like, and people will probably look at me and go, that's a white man. But I don't sit here thinking I'm white. I think I'm Ben Rubin. I'm an individual.
That's right.
And there are infinite multi-dimensional possibilities within each human being.
They always put the white Ben. Yeah, my white mate.
I know.
Or my black friend Patrick.
Yeah, I know. It's so awful, man. It's so awful.
It's your friend, isn't it? Like, it's not not just your friend, though, is it?
Exactly. I'll tell you what is interesting. So they have had. I work in the library quite a lot near me, and they've had Black History Month like display out, and I was looking at some of them books. I just look at and think, nah, like I don't like Lenny Henry, like whatever, mate. Like I don't need to know your history in the context of like this whole narrative. But then I did find one book which basically had like sick old castles in different African countries.
Yeah.
And I only had to flick through it for about 30 seconds. I've been meaning to. In fact, I'm going to remind myself to go and have another look at it this week because it looked really interesting. And basically, there were loads of old castles in these African countries that really kind of look a lot like our old medieval forts. Yeah. You know, so it's like you don't really hear about this. And obviously, all of these nations have got you know, these sort of architectural history, and obviously then the societies that would have existed around them, and all of the kind of the depth and all of the kind of the this, the culture and the stuff that surrounded that, and you don't hear about that at all.
You won't. You won't.
I wouldn't even really know where to go to get that information, and it's and that's like, yeah, I don't know.
We're saying lit up for Eid. Kids get the day off school. Yeah. Get nothing for love. Different cultures, same skin. Far too many areas to cover in 1 month. Thank you, sis. You know the choppings.
Yeah, exactly.
They should call it "Thank you for making Britain great" and allow a month of free tickets for everything for black people. Big up yourself, Emily. That would never happen though, but yeah. Love this live show, King. Very interesting and informative. Big up yourself, my big brother 5-0, man. Has enough respect every time. You know the style already. Just there, I go and put in the work, man.
Yeah, can we put this up?
Of course we can.
So I saw this on the tube. Yeah, this is like, what I don't get this. This is at the Welcome Collection, and the Welcome Collection is, if you're not familiar with it, it's part of the Wellcome Trust, which was a massive endowment. Like the guy that had a big pharmaceutical company, earned a load of money, and then created this thing called the Wellcome Trust to promote the interest of science, I guess, kind of broadly. And they have this massive building up on Euston Road called the Wellcome Collection, and they've got this thing called Genetic Automata, and it is 4 films exploring science, race, and identity. And the thing about science is, I don't think it's got anything to do with race and identity. Like, it's just science. Like, you're analysing the physical world, and I don't know. I find it really kind of strange that you get. It's like they try and force it into the conversation, like everywhere, all the time. It's like it's not necessary to do this. There's also a load of really weird symbolism on this poster as well, which I thought was kind of crazy, like the eyes and the kind of pharaonic Egyptian type scenario going on here.
I think I big up my big brother. Big up 5-0, manners and respect. I'm literally looking for this guy right now, and I've just found something. I think I want to play this. I want to see Wagwan. I've never heard of this artist before, but you're saying that he's singing about what we're really debating about. So let me just get some feedback on this one. Tell me what you think, peeps. Big up yourself, 5-0, for the info on this one. Just give it a little listen. See Wagwan.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? You're depressed. Society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome. So for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you.
Peeps, what, I can't play too much of that because I don't want to strike my video then. I don't want my life get strike, but I just want to play a little piece of it so you want to know if I just go and go look for that artist there. Tom McDonald, check him out. That one there is called The System. Yeah, man.
He was like the most successful independent artist.
That's right.
over the past few years, I'm not going to get the exact statistics on it, but he was getting like number 1 on iTunes.
Brother, he's sitting on 20 million on this one song. 20 million a year ago. Like, he's doing bits, bro.
Yeah, he's doing bits. And he's definitely saying a lot of the right things. The thing is, though, there's a lot of people like that who've been put to the forefront, and you just have to maintain awareness around them, basically. You know, no blind trust.
That's right.
That's the thing. You know, people get put forward as leaders in a thing, and as long as they're saying the right stuff and everything's above board and going in the right direction, then you know, agree with them. If you agree with them, agree with them. But if you don't agree with them, then don't just blindly follow along, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Don't be a yes man.
Exactly, yeah. And
we're not up on that.
You know, the whole point of a lot of the problems we're in, really, because people just gone along with whatever this person, that person's saying, because they like put them up on a pedestal in some way, and it's like, no. It's entirely possible that person does not have your best interests at heart. You know, even though they're saying some things that resonate with you right now. But yeah, he's been quite interesting to watch, actually, that guy.
While we're talking about music, I think I'm going to play this song because I think it's a very relevant song right now. I think this song definitely should get played. I want to big up the OBF family and definitely just taking this little vibes there for a second, my people.
Down in the dark, they had no love in their heart, yeah. Whoa, say in this your time. Don't want to cry, I don't want to cry. In this your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight.
Get the youth them in the street, them start kill for eat. I took down them brother fit them shoes on them feet. Them mama they a yard, a ball and a weep. Fear son get an eternal sleep. Something have to change, start rearrange. Me no want hear them talk, them devil too strange. Me see where them a walk, me put them in a range. Angel a get it soon, call them name. Sing again.
This your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight.
Check, in a this short time, it's not fine. Babylon a run down the youth all the time, and your mama frightened fi call 999. Cause she know them a commit them crime. Them a murder the youth them same time, and people a take on them for film crime. Kill a for real of me have things on me mind. Oh, you can't see and you all a act blind. Oh, you still a search and still you can't find the truth. Don't misguide the ghetto youth. The army they are ready for rise and show. Me army they are ready for rise and. I mean notice that them a recruit the ghetto youth. Them same one town round and one shoot. Don't make me put on me 3-piece suit and right down me gun them promote and they
in this your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time. Get on youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight.
Yeah, yeah. This your time. Tell you we not this your time. Tell you we not Rise up.
So I'm saying, my people, in this year time, a whole heap of things not straight. So we got to make songs about stuff and stick to the times, you get me, and be relevant with the times of what's going on. So big up Ira, big up Charlie P, my brother, big up the OBF family, big up the whole of my Paris family. You don't know, it's all love. In this year time, all we need to do right now is unite. Big up Auntie Love, Novlet. Big up yourself, manners and respect, Auntie. Be a love, you know the style already. Bianca, big up yourself. Alan Wilson, big up yourself. Corinne, big up yourself, manners and respect, and good evening. Oh, my peeps, hold on. You know you have some things you want to show, innit? Come on, let's get that screen up there. Let's see what I'll go on.
This one.
What are you saying? Let me see. Put it on a big screen, whatever you're going to put.
Where's it going?
Right, I'll just say you're gone.
Yes, I've seen this. The Voice.
What's that all about now? So, proud to be black but not British.
So this is part of the Black History Month print edition. And they put this poll in there, which is like, yeah, proud to be black but not British.
So just 1 in 10 blacks in Brit proud to be Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is there to be proud about?
Well,
what is great? There's nothing great about Britain or being British anymore. Everything's upside down.
What was great about it before, if there was
There was
anything?
nothing great about it. It's just that they always used to say Great Britain.
Yeah?
They used to say Great Britain, bro. From a child growing up, that's what I used to always hear. Oh, Great Britain. No, especially, not, maybe they never used to say that. It's more Caribbean parents used to say, yeah, man, Great Britain. You see what I'm saying? So it was always regarded amongst the youths, amongst our people, our elders, as Great Britain. Bro, there's nothing great about this place. There's never been that. It was a damp, grey place as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
Yeah.
I love this country, man.
Yeah, well, there's things I love about it, bro, but at the same time, there's a hell of a lot of stuff that I don't like about it.
I like the weather as well, but maybe there's something about...
I don't like the weather, Ben. Let's get to that, because right now, Ben, hold on, where we at? We're over here. Ben, I don't like the weather. Ben, I can't like the weather. Ben, we're never ever going like the weather, brother.
Gives me chills, man. It was thrashing it down with rain yesterday, and I was looking out the window going, yes. I love it.
Definitely, my big brother. Remember, be careful who you call role models, because many are models playing a role. Yeah, be careful who you call role models, because many are models playing a role.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Facts, big facts.
That's definitely true. That it made me kind of sad when I saw that, to be honest with you, and because I'm very proud of this country, and I love being English. I don't really see myself as British. British is another thing, you know. A bit like we were talking about with the black moniker as well, you know, like the England and Scotland and Wales and Ireland are actually like they're very distinct from each other.
My sister said we should be proud of that. Hold on. Yeah, but we fought for years to get black British on application forms and stuff. We should be proud of that, of course. But at the same time, there's a hell of a lot more that we done in this place. And just the fact that I don't feel like the acknowledgement is there is why I don't feel like I belong in a place like this. And worse, when you see like the forms has gone from just being like black British to other to this. There's I think 4 different bits. Black Caribbean, black Caribbean, black African, black. There was a few of them, and I'm like, bruv, this shouldn't even be like this, bruv.
That's the system.
Why should an application specify who the hell we are? You should just have your name, your date of birth, We're applying for the job. We're healthy. We ain't got no limbs missing. What the hell's wrong? What can't we just apply that way? Ain't that the rightful way to apply?
Yeah, right. Like they shouldn't be asking that question at all, really. And it's the system. Is when you have to interact with a lot of the government stuff. Like a lot of that stuff gets driven out of the state, basically. And the state is really racist.
That's right.
Because, it has terms like we were saying before, like IC3, IC2, IC1. Like they're basically just ways for them to, because they don't know you, they just know that you look a bit like that. Because they're like over there in a control tower looking down on the population. And it's just like them ones and them ones. But they don't actually know you as an individual, really.
It's crazy. Big Bro says prayers up for the children for a better mindset, better than the parents and previous generations. Definitely, my bro.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why we always said we wanted to guide a new generation to a new way of thinking and not our old school way that we knew always brought us to dead ends. For sure, man. Let me go over on because they didn't want to accept us as British. Yeah. Love the weather and whoever. I can't do the code though. That's the only thing I'm frightened because the most of my money gets spent on heating, gas.
Yeah.
In the winter time. Whoa, gas, bro. Yeah, I'll sit in my car and burn £10 petrol just sitting there because I need to warm up and I got to face the fears of my fears and I don't want to bust the car door, bro. I'm scared. You know about that winter one?
Yeah.
You probably walk out in shorts and shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
shorts and shirt.
I've got Scandinavian blood in me though, so
yeah,
I'm a bit Viking.
Bro, sometimes I'm envious as well because I would like to go out and be able to jog out there and do the do's, but bro, yeah, I ain't got that kind of, you know what I mean? One little piece of breeze hit me, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm like, zip right up. Lucky I ain't got my coat on right now. It's only true way.
It's not even been that cold in the past couple of decades, man. Like it used to be a lot colder. You know, when the Thames used to freeze over, you go back a few hundred years, they had like a mini ice age and the Thames would freeze over.
And people would be skating on that.
Yeah, right, exactly. They'd be like taking horse-drawn carts up and down it and stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Luke, big up yourself. Luke says, I'm a winter person. I love it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a tropical baby. I really do with the sun. I need it. Without it, I feel like I'm just gonna, I can't really function too well. I'm not gonna lie. So don't think I'm here trying to, I'm not here to live a lie. I will tell the truth at all times.
Were you born here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where I was born?
Would you move somewhere else?
Huh?
Would you move somewhere else? Have you thought about it properly? Like,
I would live in many different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel.
Would you prefer somewhere hot though?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
You travelled around, man. Like, well, you showed me that video of you in doing a tour in Australia and Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you've been all around the world, right?
Not all around the world, but I've been quite a few places to be fair. But I ain't been all around the world. There's many places I would love to go still.
Yeah.
Yeah, still a hell of a lot of places.
Latin America, that's where I want to go.
I want to go over there ASAP.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I went to Mexico once and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real good. And I was like, oh wow, there's a whole continent down here. I've not been down this bit yet. And it was a while ago now, actually. Obviously, they had the whole lockdown thing, which stopped people moving about. But yeah, I want to go see that.
I remember Angel came back and told me a bag of things about Mexico. Mexico's ton up still.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, so we stayed in this place called Tulum, and on the resort there was no locks on the rooms. Any of the rooms.
You was alright with that?
Well, no, we got there and I was like, what the fuck, what's going on? Because you kind of know that it's, well, I don't know, like, you go Asia, like, there's locks on, you know, you're locking up your stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, particularly, you come away on a nice holiday and you got all your, you know, garms and like, all sorts of stuff. Like, there was a safe in there, but not like a massive safe. But they just left it open. I went down to the front desk and was like, where'd you put the padlock and that? And they're just like, no, don't worry, there is no crime here. And basically, the cartels run it, and it's enforced by them, basically, because they don't want to scare off the tourists and the people coming. There's a lot of people from New York and LA coming there because it's like a few hours away for them.
That sounds like a Dadas situation, bro. Yeah. That's what Dadas used to do. When man used to go to Jamaica, bro, When people used to go to Jamaica, you wouldn't get robbed, bro. People weren't just getting lift up and kidnapped or any funny stuff, because dons were in place to make sure that, listen, we need the tourists, food have to run, and people need to be safe. Yeah? And the minute that, see, that's what they knew what they were doing when they got rid of Dadas. They knew they would disrupt the whole of Jamaica, and it would create 1,000 more new dons that are
Who's
not...
Dadas? I've not heard that name before.
No. Christopher Dadas Cope. He is an elder of the Tivoli Gardens community. And him, along with, there was another don as well called Zeke's, and between the two of them used to run the whole of Jamaica.
Right.
And they were more powerful than the government of Jamaica. The people listened to them more than they would ever listen to the government. So they had to find ways to get out both men, and they did. It's just one of them sad, you know what I mean?
When was
Jim Brown's son, yeah.
And when was this?
This is recent. This is like, not so recent, but about within the last 10 years, I think.
Is that so?
Yeah,
No,
the last 10, 11 years. How long has Dadas been away now? About 10 years now, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. I need to go and find out more about that.
Yeah.
'Cause the other one that got murdered was Peter Tosh, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was a very powerful voice.
Of course. But you see, because we're...
Rebellious voice. Yes.
They will try to get rid of you as quick as possible when you're rebellious and uncontrollable in their eyes.
Yeah, right, okay. So that therein tells you how things actually run.
That's right.
In Jamaica.
Bro.
And actually, and everywhere else as well, but that's a very specific example.
There you go.
And I remember you told me that, is it the Jamaican dollar?
Go on.
Printed by the Bank of England?
There you go.
Right. So that's basically a
that's why they always stay in debt.
It's a slave system. It's a system of slavery.
Can't get out of it because you're not printing your own money.
Yeah.
How can somebody else print your money?
Yeah, exactly. And I heard that from you, and I remember thinking, wow, okay, that's fascinating, because they make all this big fanfare about independence and the end of colonialism and all that kind of stuff. But if they print your money, then all of that is still in place. It doesn't matter. Like they can say all the things that they're saying, and you can have like a nice day to celebrate your thing and your flag, and you know, like that's all good, and you should, right? But like they still kind of got you under the boot, and you know, this is what the French have been doing across a lot of Africa. You know, like still now. You know, like it's not like this is an old thing. Like this is sort of economic colonialism has been going on forever, and they're still at it today. You know,
of course.
And then you get people like Macron coming out and talking about diversity and you know equity and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but you're a slave owner, like you're a slave driver. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. My big bro says
overseers in a slave system.
My big bro says the Bank of England prints most of the global currency, king. See, I wasn't even aware of that, but you know what? You see, for me, certain things for me are like, wow, how can you allow another country to print your money? That's confusing. All right, cool. So they made you valuable. They gave you the value that you have. In other words, Nikki, big up the full Ashanti Yard family. Big up Sasha. Big up the full team. You know the thing. Even the fact of finding out that Ray and nephew that we all love so much is not owned by a black person. I'm confused. I thought that was owned. I thought that was Jamaica based, Jamaica owned. What the frick is going on there? It's not. That's confusing. So, a lot of things that we love and we like and we think is being marketed to us like it's something authentic is really not no more. The pattern's being sold because somebody, whoever created it, sold it on a long time ago, and someone else is reaping the benefits.
I stopped drinking a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been like the best thing ever for me. The thing that's helped me out the most.
Drinking's not even a great thing. It's only like an occasional thing to have an odd drink, but I don't really like drinks because every event that I've been to, not every, but majority of events that I've been to and seen the best of characters in a normal state, behavior, like respectable, and then a few cups later,
Yeah.
it's a whole different.
Because some
human
people
being.
go dark, mate.
Bro, whole different human being, brethren.
So I was with a mate of mine, and we were in Hackney Downs, and we were just chilling, just me and him, and it's a beautiful day, real nice sunny day, and he was like I was really, really just appreciating his company. He was just being like proper, like positive vibe. Like he was just in a really good mood, and I was really enjoying hanging out with him. Like I felt good. And then basically he got a bottle of Ray, and I started drinking. And within about 2 hours, he'd gone from being like the nicest guy ever to being this like dark demon type. It was remarkable, man. It was like it was like the biggest change that I've seen in someone. In like and it was down to booze, basically. Like I think it does that to some people, you know, like it does.
Definitely does.
Yeah, it just sends people down.
It's not for everybody, man. Drink, kill your spirit. You see it there?
Yeah.
That's why it's called spirit. It's all right to have a little glass of wine while you're eating. A glass of water beside it, nice and neat, and a basket full of bread to soak it up a little bit. Sensible. That's sensible drinking. You know what I mean? You start doing all this wild stuff, like me sometimes when I mix 3 different spirits together, and then, you get me? But I just have little odd drinks. I'm not a drinker. You can't see me drinking day to day. That's why I can have bottles of drinks sitting around and I'm all right. But yeah, man, it's really...
You just said mixing your drinks and it made me like feel a little bit sick.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, man. Like I've completely left it.
You just got a weak belly, man. What are you talking about? I feel sick, bro.
No, but that next day thing when you've had like 3 or 4 different types of spirits and you just feel like haggard. No, I don't miss that. I can tell you.
I know it
not at all. But like a lot of music stuff's tied in with that. Like music and alcohol like go hand in hand, don't
there
they?
You go.
So it's
just
quite
like ganja and music goes hand in hand, though.
Yeah. Well, I think they go better.
There you go.
I think ganja and music go better, but
there's always wisdom and knowledge to be had.
Yeah.
With the overstanding with the ganja.
All of that. But that's illegal, obviously. So they don't want you to do that one.
Of course not.
What was it? As Bob Marley said that, wasn't it? Like weed is the healing of the nation, and alcohol is like the ruination of the nation, or something like that.
Dean, big up yourself, my big brother. Dean, bare love, you know. Said he's gonna go and cook her food, you know. I love that, my family. Bare love, you know, man. As a respect plus enough tax, Dean. You know the thing already. Big up yourself, Zadie. Big up yourself, Divine, and everybody else over on the YouTube, man. As enough respect plus enough tax. As you can see, we're wrapping up. We're just rolling up to the 9 o'clock mark. And you don't know, big up my big brother Andy Chin, you know. This is the Godcast anthem tune where Afi play. Every Sunday that tune Afi play. And the Godcast runs every Sunday from 7 p.m. live. We are not pre-recorded. We definitely do like to be there for our people and make that time to hold the reasonings, you get me? Because it's important that we are up to speed with the knowledge that we have. I don't believe that one should have all the knowledge and the rest should be searching. The minute that we find knowledge, we should share. You know what I mean? One hand don't clap. So we need to, you know what I mean? One full basket, one cork or full basket. So that's how we think there, people. I'm going to leave you guys with my big brother's tune. As you know how my thing's set already. Yeah, you see me? Big up everyone. I hope everyone has a great start to the week for tomorrow. I know there's a lot of stuff happening in society at the moment. Socially, social, networkly, and in reality. But stay positive, man. Stay positive. Keep them positive boots on your feet. You get me? Yeah, man. Things can't be that bad. It's going to get better. It can only get better if we link up and unify as one. It won't get no better no other way. You see what I'm saying, my people? So that is it. The moral of the story is unity. I want to say thank you for Ruben passing through and being my guest for tonight. You don't know the thing already. Man, has enough respect, my brother from another mother. Don't know the thing already. We now go around the thing. It's one family. My people, stay safe. If you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, stay in your yard. You know my you know my style already, you know. We now go around the thing, so yeah, you know my thing, peeps. Let me just keep it as clean and just like this.
Yeah! Rastafari, Haile Selassie, rules and reigns over all living things. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say, Jah bless a sound like Arrow Syndicate sound, with youth like DJ Yellow, Not Nice and my agent called Killer P. Big up all Stockwell and Brixton massive, you don't know, so we kick off a sound boy face. I and the chin say, run things. Element of surprise. There will be weeping, there will be wailing, and a gnashing of teeth, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? There will be killing, blood will be spilling, it just not go ease, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? Weeping and a wailing, I said a gnashing of teeth. Weeping and a wailing, you test Killer P, you get defeat. Yeah! Rastafari, Haile Selassie, rules and reigns over all living things. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say, Jah bless a sound like Arrow Syndicate sound, with youth like DJ Yellow, Not Nice and my agent called Killer P. Big up all Stockwell and Brixton massive, you don't know, so we kick off a sound boy face. I and the chin say, run things. Element of surprise. There will be weeping, there will be wailing, and a gnashing of teeth, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? There will be killing, blood will be spilling, it just not go ease, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? Weeping and a wailing, I said a gnashing of teeth. Weeping and a wailing, you test Killer P, you get defeat. Weeping and a wailing, and a gnashing of teeth. Weeping, what a wailing, you test Not Nice, you get defeat. Here will be fighting, every son will be backbiting, it just now go ease, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? There will be wars, rumors of wars, there won't be no peace, till Arrow Syndicate sound they appear. And what you gonna do, and where you gonna run to? Jah Rastafari.